Hey everyone, Dr. Jere here with Mills Chiropractic and Wellness Center. And as we start to head into the month of May, I wanted to focus this month mostly on sports injuries, and my weekend warriors primarily is who I'm going to be talking to during this month. You know, did you know that weekend warriors that participate in weekend activities, whether it's going for a hike or playing softball or maybe golf, you know, they actually have about a 40% reduction in their risk of like cardiovascular disease and other health things. However, as some of you know, as we get older, we're more likely to get injured in these weekend warrior activities, right? And one of the big reasons is because unfortunately, a lot of times we don't do a whole lot during the week leading up to that activity. And so we get out there and we get at the softball game and everything's tight and we're trying to loosen up. But those tight muscles and those tight tendons and those joints that have been stiff all week are now being asked to move. And unfortunately, when they're kind of fighting against each other, that's often when an injury occurs. And so one of the things that I really want to kind of focus on today is just how important it is to have a regular routine. If you want to play sports on the weekend, you want to be more active on the weekend, that's great. But you do have to be more diligent during the week to try to avoid some of these injuries. You know, we've talked a little bit in last month when we were talking about low back pain and low back problems. We talked a little bit about how there's this dynamic in the spine where we're always in this fight in our joints between stability and mobility, right? And we want both and we need both. However, when the body is forced to choose, it's always going to choose stability over mobility, right? So it's kind of that adage, if we don't use it, we lose it. And that is so very true when it comes to our mobility. If our body says, I don't need to be able to move because I'm not being asked to do much during the week, it's going to favor this stability, and those tissues are going to get stiff and they're going to get short. And then we're going to go out and try to run or do something, and those tissues just are not pliable enough for that. And they get these adhesions, and then stuff starts breaking down. So one of the things, the first tip that we're going to get into sports focus this month, the first thing we want to do is really just focus on stretching and staying active during the week. Doesn't take much, but just doing a little bit each and every day. You know, there's some research a few years ago that actually showed that if we stretch, we get a benefit for that day. But unfortunately, it doesn't carry over unless we stretch actually multiple times per day in order to get that lengthening. So if you're noticing that you're already stiff and tight and things like that, stretching each day is going to be helpful. It'll help prevent the injuries, but you're not really going to get the lengthening that you're looking for unless you do it multiple times during the day. So that's my charge to you this week, is start stretching. If you've been a little lazy on it, maybe haven't been as active, start getting back into that before the weekend warrior part of you hits. I know we all want to get active on these nice weekends as the weather gets warmer, and maybe that's even just gardening, but doing those little things can make a huge difference. So until next week, stay healthy and stay well.